Okay, 2345, checking levels 2345.
gentlemen, it's time for our first final of the day here at the Murray Trophy, and it's the doubles crown up here on centre court. Our first pair fought a very tight and determined semi-final battle to reach the final. Please welcome from Belgium, world top 200 player Bemelmans, and from Germany, his partner Daniel Masur. And their opponents. They're the #1 seeds here in Glasgow. From Australia, John Patrick Smith and his partner, former world #1, 7-time Grand Slam winner and Davis Cup winner, Judy Murray. The coin toss will be performed by 7-year-old Lily McLean from Newlands Tennis Club. Lily began playing tennis when she was 2. She loves tennis because she has fun with her friends, and her favourite players are Jamie and Andy Murray.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and hello from Scotstoun in the heart of Glasgow's West End. We are just about to get underway for the Murray Trophy doubles final. Lily McLean is about to do the coin toss, and it's pretty much the dream final for everyone here, because Jamie Murray, who's helped organise the event, will contest this inaugural final with his partner John Patrick Smith. As they skip away, they're facing Ruben Bemelmans of Belgium and Daniel Masur of Germany. And this Murray Trophy here in Glasgow has been staged by the LTA in partnership with Tennis Scotland, Glasgow Life and Glasgow City Council. MC Rona McLeod there announcing the umpire, Robert Bamforth, and sitting beside me in the commentary box, someone who has, well, a vested interest in today's proceedings, Jamie Murray's coach, Alan McDonald. Alan, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Geraldine.
It's terrific for the event, isn't it, that Jamie's in the final?
Yeah, I think it's exactly what everyone wanted here in Glasgow, and credit to them that they've handled the pressure of kind of that expectation and made their way to the final. They played some good matches, actually. Both the matches that I've been here to watch live have been really exciting. Crowds really enjoyed them, so hoping for more of the same today.
Well, as the warm-up continues, let's just have a quick run through the players that we're watching today. Well, that man there needs very little introduction. Jamie Murray. What a career he's had, and what a year as well. The US Open mixed doubles champion, 23 titles in total in his career. Won this year. It seems ages ago that he won in Sydney on the ATP Tour with his former partner Bruno Suarez. Former doubles world #1, of course. Ranked 14 in doubles just now, and he's got a promising new partnership with Neil Skupski. They, of course, US Open doubles semi-finalists, but today partnering John Patrick Smith of Australia, 30-year-old from Townsville, Australia. And I guess the interesting thing, Alan, is both of these partnerships, well, they're scratch partnerships for this tournament, so it's going to be a first whatever way it goes.
That's true, yeah, and it creates its own challenges, starting a team from scratch. but also has the advantage of being something fresh and new, and often, as you've seen, particularly from Jamie and JP Smith, their kind of enjoyment during the matches has been evident. You know, they've really enjoyed playing in front of the Glasgow crowd, and seem to have enjoyed their time together here this week.
What does JP bring to the match court for you?
Well, he's a very accomplished doubles player, and he's been almost inside the top 100 in singles as well. He's another left-hander as well as Jamie, obviously, so it's a double lefty combination. He serves well, his positioning and is good at the net, and he kind of likes to get close to the net, knows where he's trying to hit his volleys and doubles, which is very important, and he returns well too, especially on these kind of fast surfaces.
Well, this man we're looking at now, Ruben Bemelmans, he of course knows what it's like to face a Murray. I'm sure most of our viewers will be well aware that he was part of the Belgian Davis Cup team in that final in 2015, but it was the younger of the Murrays that he played. Andy that day taking him down 6-3, 6-2, 7-5 on the way to, well, that memorable Davis Cup win in 2015. When
and we've got a bit of a Davis Cup atmosphere at the moment with
the
Loman ringing out.
It's amazing. Bemelmans partnered by Daniel Masur of Germany, the 24-year-old. He's from Munich, and it's going to be fascinating to see if he and Bemelmans can cope with this raucous home atmosphere, because the Jamie Murray fan club in full effect on the stand to our left there as we watch.
Yeah, and I mean, Masur, I watched him play singles a couple of times this week, and he seems to have a pretty good temperament to deal with this kind of situation. What will be crucial for this team is that they can kind of match the doubles nous and the way that their opponents play. They're going to make it very hard for them to get the ball in play on their returns. They're going to try and make the court small and make them hit low percentage shots. And if the Belgian-German team doesn't kind of reciprocate and do the same in return, then it could be key in deciding the match. They're going to have to go out there and take the middle of the court, make sure that they don't just let Murray and Smith kind of get the ball in play easily on return, because after they get the ball in play, it's very hard to deal with what they do at the net.
Well, Bemelmans won a doubles title this year with Tim Quits in Tunis. Masur earlier this week was in the quarter-finals. He was beaten by Ramanathan. So both players in both teams, as you would expect, in pretty decent form, which is why they've made it all the way through to this final. Little fist bump between Jamie Murray and JP Smith as the Aussie just hydrates, a couple of gulps of water. Bemelmans and Masur doing the same thing as the red t-shirts and kilts of the Scottish fan club, the Jamie Murray fan club, the JP Smith Jamie Murray fan club, get themselves warmed up, and we are about to get underway.
Jamie Murray to serve
in this
play.
Inaugural Murray Trophy doubles final with Jamie Murray to serve. Little loosener into the net.
In 15 months.
Nice way to open. Nice hands at the net from JP Smith.
Now you can see straight away that they're using a formation there where Smith is close to the net and he pops up out of the I formation and is right in the middle of the court.
Long from Bemelmans.
30 love.
And in the semi-final, Smith and Murray served 87% first serves, which is exceptionally high and very hard to deal with in doubles. So already Jamie's missed his first 2 first serves here, so not quite on that peak yet.
It's a better return from the other side of the net. Masur getting hold of that Murray serve. Always fascinating in the early stages to get a look at your opponent's serve. Very nice from JP Smith, the improvisation there, as that came right at his body,
yeah,
right across the net.
He did really well there. And they're sticking to the kind of system and the philosophy that they've used all week of being unpredictable. That's a couple of switches they've done there already.
And that will do nicely for the home team. I'm going to call them the home team, a Scotsman and an Aussie here in Scotstoun. This event part of the new expanded international calendar of tournaments being staged by the LTA across Britain this year. They want to showcase tennis outside what's the traditional grass summer season, trying to open things up to more fans around the country. I think they've been successful in that this week, and successful so far for Jamie Murray and JP Smith. A good opening game for the concession of just 1 point. Now then, let's have a look at the German serve. Love one early stages.
15 love.
And JP Smith nearly scrambling an excellent get there. That didn't miss the baseline by much, I don't think. Scratching his head there.
Yeah, he did well to stand up there and just decent hands, but just pushed it long.
Great return from the Aussie there. His eyes in straight away.
Yeah, this has been one of the features for them this week is how well Smith has returned first serve. You know, he likes the ball coming fast around his body and it doesn't get too high or move away from you too much on this fast, skiddy indoor court. He's very good at using the pace.
That's nice at the net from Bemelmans. I'm not sure if that was a bit freemy, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
30-15.
Yeah, tiny bit away from the centre of the strings, but that's the sort of point that Jamie will be quite happy with. Playing good cross-court return into the net. His opponent's defended well, but that's exactly the sort of pressure he'll be looking to put on consistently.
Terrific doubles point there, in fairness, on both sides of the net. Really good improvisation from Jamie halfway through that point. And the umpire there just calling not up as Masur tried to scoop it up. Yeah, teamwork.
Yeah, that's what they'll try to do as often as possible, is both get to net together, especially if their opponents. Masur certainly at the start stayed back on all of his serve so far.
Terrific outright winner from the German there. Didn't have a great deal to aim at.
And there again, the Smith-Murray partnership both at the net at the same time. They'll be quite happy to create those opportunities. And in the later stages of the match, may well pay off.
Just wide on the first serve there from Masur. Terrific returning again from JP Smith.
Yeah, and what I think you probably will see if JP keeps returning like this is that their opponents will have to start doing a few more plays like formations or maybe some crosses, because they can't just let him keep returning wherever he wants to, giving him a big open cross court.
Game Bemelmans, Masur.
And that's a really big hold for Daniel Masur. In a final like this, can get away with you, away from you, I should say, pretty easily.
Yeah, it's a very good serve there, and they did do I formation there to just give a different look to Smith and maybe pressurise his return options a little more. So that was well done by them.
Love 15.
So JP Smith hoping to follow his partner by holding serve.
15 all.
That's just missed by Bemelmans there.
Good tactic from Bemelmans early, trying to return line. You've got to keep your opponent's uncertainty.
And there's just an indication
15-30
of the power in the Masur racket. Saw that serve coming.
Yeah, he didn't really get the speed in that serve you'd have looked for. When you serve body like that, you want to rush them a little more than that.
Net cord there from Masur brings pressure for the first time
15-40
on the Murray Smith serve. 3 break points now for Bemelmans Masur.
30-40.
That's not a bad way to fend off the first one, is it? Almost an ace down the middle. Frame of the racket denied in the ace.
Yeah, that was an excellent serve. He's served so far a little bit conservatively, I would say, in this game. But that was the first time he really hit a spot.
Pressure now though. Second serve. Break point down. Oh, Bemelmans looks away in disgust there. Did not catch that return at all the way he intended.
Yeah, that was a definite opportunity.
There it is, he wants it again. Look, can I have that one again, please? Unfortunately not.
His partner's not letting him take the juice point though. Masur backing himself here.
Oh, and there's why. There is why. Brilliant from the German. And serve is broken. First move. Bemelmans Masur.
2-1.
Are
you a fan of deciding point?
Not particularly, no. I love the match tiebreak for doubles. I'm not a huge fan of being involved in them, but in terms of the adding to the kind of excitement and the kind of improving the product of doubles as a separate kind of entity to singles, I think it gives it a real identity that everybody really enjoys. You know, there's always excitement, always a buzz when there's a big match tiebreak about to take place. You know, even in the kind of locker room or among the players, quite often you'll see them kind of gathering around the TV to watch, see what happens. But I think to have the match tiebreak and the deciding point is a little, makes it slightly too much of a lottery. You know, the deciding point can, you know, it shortens things so much that actually it probably doesn't add to as much as the match tiebreak does, I think.
Can Bemelmans consolidate the break here? And we shall soon see. Good start from the Belgian and the German. Top seed under pressure straight away.
Love 15.
That's what I was talking about before there, when you let these guys return cross court and then Jamie or JP are, as the receiver's partners at the net looking to intercept the volley, it's very hard to deal them with that first volley.
15 all.
So you either need good first serves like that or to have a little more variety and a way of stopping that situation from happening.
Yeah, better looking serve that. 110 on the speed gun.
For example here, will he serve and volley again, and will they just let Jamie return cross court?
Third to 15.
Well anticipated there from Masur, straight there, knew it was coming.
There you see, so he knew that he didn't want to let, or they didn't want to let Jamie's return go cross court with pressure from JP, so good move by Masur, as you say.
Oh. You need to do well to beat Judy Murray in a battle at the net. Some of the best hands in the game. And I'm not just talking doubles either. Well, that scooped return, the lob, often causes problems.
Yep. And I kind of expected that to some extent there. Quite often,
13-14.
once the players start to kind of move a little bit more on Jamie, he'll use the lob as his variety to keep them honest.
2 break points, break back points for Murray and Smith. Into the body
Deciding points.
of Smith there.
Receiver's choice.
Just unable to return, unable to cope with the spin there from Bemelmans. And break point saved. Still one to come. Deciding point now. Bemelmans to Murray. Really good first serve. Set up the easy put away. And the break is consolidated, and this now is a really good start from Bemelmans.
Masur lead 3 games to 1.
Yeah, that's well played. That both times they've had a juice point, they've responded with a very strong first serve. And they've, as you say, they've started well. They'll feel like they're really in the match and comfortable out there.
Quarter of an hour in, and some daylight for Bemelmans and Masur. 3-1. So a vital game this for Jamie Murray. Must hold
15.
here, or the first set could disappear away from them in double quick time.
Good play from Smith there, crowding the middle of the court. And ball came fast at him, but he actually used the double-handed volley there to control the ball well.
30.
Lovely serve from Jamie Murray. I think that just about clipped the edge of the racket there, so not quite an ace. But it was never ever coming back, that's for sure. Oh, it's been given as an ace, so. Like the old cricket snickle. I thought that just snicked the racket on the way past, but maybe not. Jamie will take the ace. He'll also take these game points. This is the ideal response at 1-3.
40-15.
An excellent return from Bemelmans there.
Yeah, he's clearly looking to take that backhand return down the line a little early in the match, which is a good tactic.
Again, Murray Smith.
There's no doubt that that was an ace. Completely wrong-footed Masur, and a brilliant hold. A really important hold for Jamie Murray, just to keep themselves just about in contention. Still a breakdown though, 2-3.
And actually overall, they'd have to be fairly content with the start that they made. They've created some break points in both of their opponents' first service games. I think they'll have to be a little wary in terms of serving to their opponents and not really kind of having good intent, because they got into trouble serving, especially to Masur in Smith's first service game. They gave him a couple of looks at serves that didn't really hit their spots, and he dealt with them really well. So I think at this point you have to not be too happy being a breakdown as for Murray and Smith, but they'll know that they keep doing a good job with their return, then they'll be able to create some opportunities to get it back.
Really good atmosphere here inside Scotstoun Stadium. LTA naming this tournament, of course, in tribute to the Murray family's contribution to the game. Jamie's been working with the LTA and Glasgow Life behind the scenes planning this event. And he'll be happy with the way it's gone so far, and the fact that he's in the final. They've got a match on their hands though. Murray and Smith.
Love 15.
Looking to break back. Find a weakness in this Masur serve. Wow, he's gone for the line there and absolutely nailed it. Daniel Masur.
Yeah, Jamie looked to make a move across there, and actually it was a pretty good move, but in a slightly defensive position, just looking to make something happen, but Masur kept calm and produced a great forehand.
Oh, and that's loose from Bemelmans. That is very loose from Ruben Bemelmans. Hence the oohs and the ahs from the crowd, who'd assumed the point was going his way.
Yeah, it was a little bit wild there, because it wasn't Jamie's best lob.
Terrific serving again from Masur. Well, that makes up for the error from his partner seconds ago. Just couldn't dig that up, Jamie Murray. Trying for the half volley pickup right at his feet.
Yep, again, good return, followed it in, and Masur counted well.
Terrific from JP Smith. He saw where the gap was, and that was channeled beautifully.
And I think this is the side, when Smith is returning, I think this is the side that Masur will have to use a few more different plays and formations on, because the return's coming fast into his backhand corner, which is a bit more difficult for him to defend.
This is a huge point now.
Jamie taking this one up.
3-all or 4-2, what's it to be? Oh, and another bad mistake from Bemelmans. The overhead goes wide, and it is 3-all. And the Belgian will be furious.
3 games.
That's very wasteful, especially in this format, as we were talking before with the juice point. If you miss 2 very makeable smashes in one game, then it's tough to hold.
Well, what a lift that will give. JP Smith serving and Jamie Murray at the net. Parity is restored. Little momentum swings, so important, whether it's doubles or singles. They could have been really struggling to keep themselves in this set at 2-4. Now all of a sudden, a couple of points away from leading 4-3. Make that 1 point away from 4-3.
And I think at this point, you have to say that Masur has started very well. You know, he's looked secure on his own serve, even though he got broken there. It was kind of more from his partner's wasteful errors, and he's returned well. Bemelmans has hit some good shots, but not quite been as consistent.
Well, the momentum swing is complete. Jamie Murray and JP Smith will sit down with a 4-3 first set lead.
Murray Smith lead 4 games to 3.
And big smiles on their faces.
Yeah, they're in a good position now. I think they'll be, you know, going into the match, you know, playing against guys who are playing decent level singles, that there's a chance they can connect with a few shots, return well, put you under pressure on your serve. But the flip side of that, especially against a scratch team, is that they're probably not as efficient at cutting down your space and making it hard for you on your return games. They kind of play a little bit more just to take care of their own side, rather than, you know, playing as a team and setting each other up, using a lot of formations because they won't have trained together very much, and, you know, it's their first tournament together. So the signs for Murray and Smith on return are very good. But they'll just need to make sure they keep taking care of their serve with a good percentage and committing to, you know, hitting serves with intent, going to their spots, using some variety with the poaches and the crosses that they've been doing.
The crowd are right on side, urging their favourites forwards.
15 left.
Ruben Bemelmans serving with new balls, crashes down an ace, and he'll feel a little bit of responsibility on his shoulders to drag his team back level again. A couple of mistakes from him, crucial so far. Off the frame there from Masur.
15 all.
That's that situation I was talking about, that they would not be too happy to get into too often, where the return goes cross court and Jamie or JP is at the net in the face of the volleyer.
To 15.
Again, a big game this. Bemelmans knows if he doesn't hold, his opponents will serve for the first set. And Jamie Murray will be well aware of that at 30 all. Oh, that's fantastic from Masur. That almost came off the rafters.
40-30.
Beautiful concentration to put away that overhead.
Yeah, they did well there, and Jamie returned well, but he was kind of stranded on the baseline a bit after the second shot.
Okay, Bemelmans, Masur.
Big hold there from Ruben Bemelmans.
4 games all.
Very good competitive final so far. Who can strike first? Who can get this first set in the bag? Jamie Murray hoping to put his team within a game of it. Again, that's nice play from JP Smith at the net.
15 love.
Difficult lob for Bemelmans to try and execute. A couple of inches long.
Yeah, and there's the double skills there. They called a cross there and served to his forehand where he's been returning strongly, but Smith, confident of dealing with the pace, did well. In contrast, in the last game, Masur made a similar move, but he was further away from the net. He's not quite as regular doubles player, as confident a volleyer, and he wasn't able to clean the net.
Beautiful hands there from JP Smith. That is not an easy shot to execute. He had a couple of inches of wriggle room, if that.
14 love.
Yeah, Masur is continuing to make a lot of returns with good quality. They're giving him different formations, different plays, and he's dealing with it well, so it's a good kind of cut and thrust at the moment.
Faults.
Bemelmans hasn't quite settled to the same extent on return or in the rest of his game.
Faults.
Ooh, double fault there from
40,
Jamie Murray.
15.
Still has a couple of game points for 5-4 first set.
It's time to just give him a really good, nasty lefty swinger down the tee here.
Terrific doubles there from Murray and Smith, and Masur ending up on his opponent's side. That was 1 against 3 at the end there.
I think if Bemelmans had returned the ball there, Masur was ready to actually hit it.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that before on a doubles court. 1v3. Great holds from Jamie Murray. Entertaining doubles for this crowd who've really got into it here at Scotstoun Sports Centre.
Yeah, and again, another well-played point from Masur. And I kind of asked for Jamie there to serve tee, and really get it swinging down the middle, the way that lefties can take the ball away from their opponents to their backhand side. And I'm not sure if that was the serve that he called, but it came more into the slot, really. It was more of a kind of body type serve, which again gave Masur the chance to get a good hit on the return, which he did. So Jamie will maybe be just a tiny bit concerned that he's not kind of hitting his spots as well as he perhaps has the last couple of matches where his serve stats have been really good. But certainly adds to the excitement in the points when the returner can get the ball in play, and we have the kind of two singles guys hitting from the baseline against the doubles guys up at the net.
Masur serving to stay in this first set at 4-5. Good start from Murray Smith.
That's one of Jamie's favourite patterns there when he's playing against singles players who stay back and maybe aren't quite as comfortable at the net. Return cross court, come in behind, and then hit the first volley at the net player.
Tactical side of doubles, so fascinating.
Excellent.
And that's pretty much textbook there from the Scot and the Aussie. All of a sudden 2 points away from the first set.
And they're the Masur and Bemelmans there looking to play I formation so that Masur can move onto his forehand side and play from the baseline with his forehand, but the return was too fast. He didn't have time to really defend it well. There we go again.
Well, that was set up by a terrific return from Jamie Murray,
yep.
and all of a sudden, set points for Murray Smith.
And that's exact same tactic again. They let him return cross court. He came forward. First volley at Bemelmans, who couldn't defend it effectively enough, and then the second one got the job done. Earned him 4 set points.
First one is saved. The graphic there saying triple set point, but of course it is quadruple set point because of the deciding point format now in doubles. So still 3 set points for Murray Smith. And a real chance now on the second serve of Masur. Great play from Bemelmans. He was all over the net there.
And I think he made a good move there. He almost had to go there after the previous couple of points to let Jamie just return cross and crowd the net would have been a problem there, I think.
Set point number 3 goes their way though. And a huge roar here at Scotstoun Leisure Centre for Jamie Murray and JP Smith as they take one giant stride towards the title here.
It's pretty tidy, but 66% first serve points won by Jamie and JP is actually a little bit low for what they would want. They'd be looking to be around 75 or even a bit more, which can tell you obviously that one of the biggest factors in that set was that the opposition only won 50% of their first serve points, and as we kind of discussed earlier, it's just trying to find a way to stop Jamie and JP getting that first return in play effectively, after which it's very hard for them to then deal with the next shot, the German-Belgian combination, because the full-time doubles team are so adept at then taking advantage from the net.
Well, a set up and serving first, Jamie Murray. And Scotstoun's absolutely rocking. They're loving this. They would absolutely love to see this man lifting his own trophy effectively. It would be the perfect end to a really good week. Good crowds pretty much every day here in the West End of Glasgow. Successful event so far. And if Judy Murray keeps serving like that, they may well get the end they all want.
That's a much better spot he's hit there with his tee serve. As you could see, Masur had to take a much bigger step across, and much harder to control the direction of the ball when it's not in your right near to your body.
Great stuff from JP Smith again. Perfectly executed cross-court volley, punched away beautifully.
First game, second set.
Good hold from Jamie Murray.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they would have wanted. A good hold and a quick hold, and then put the opposition straight back in, serving with a bit of scoreboard pressure now set and 1-love down.
Light nets for serve.
Well, Ruben Bemelmans will know, realistically, he cannot afford to be broken here. We talked about momentum earlier. A huge momentum swing it would be if Murray Smith set up 1-love up. Good hit here.
$15.
Nicely improvised there from Masur. That ball coming straight at him.
Yeah, Jamie just a little guilty there of perhaps falling at him when he needed to avoid him there.
Makes up for it with that return though.
It's one of Louis Caillet's favourite adages, is to volley beside the player.
30-15.
Meaning avoid them rather than going hard at them, because most players at the top of the game are able to redirect a ball that comes even very fast at them. But put it a little bit to side and it's much more difficult to do anything.
$40-15.
Well, they're far from finished yet. Bemelmans Masur.
Game, Bemelmans Masur.
That's a very, very important hold.
1 game on.
Yes, they're still right in the match. If they can do a good job in this set of taking care of their first serve percentage, which in terms of points won was pretty low in that last set, then they still know that they'll be able to carve out a few chances on return, which they did well in the last set a couple of times.
15.
Beautifully served there by JP Smith. 105 miles an hour, but the placement more than anything. Hitting the spots nicely.
30 love.
Oh, very nicely played indeed by Masur down the line.
That's an excellent shot, because he had to basically half volley that and redirect the ball to get it where he went, used his hands very well there.
He's not going to miss from there, Jamie Murray. That's that.
40-15.
Very high bounce there. We saw Bemelmans make a couple of mistakes from roughly that position. Not so Jamie Murray. Game points for 2-1 on the Smith serve.
Game, Murray Smith.
Well, that was some terrific improvisation from Jamie. He's almost making a speciality of that shot from over his shoulder.
I think that's called the sky hook, that shot. That's what they call it when Rafa does it anyway. Jamie, a similar kind of shot. Not quite a smash, but a hook shot.
I like the sound of that, the sky hook.
Yeah.
The sky hook, yeah.
Actually, I've got a feeling that lob was going out actually from Masur. It was certainly drifting close to the line, but he just felt that he couldn't risk letting it drop.
You're listening to Alan McDonald and Kerry Nitsan at Scotstoun Leisure Centre, and it'll be difficult to underestimate the impact this kind of tournament can have as we see the fans here enjoying some top-class tennis, quite a few youngsters around, the inspirational factor that this can have, seeing somebody like Jamie Murray live in the flesh on youngsters.
Time.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, well, at least I hope that's right. I think it's not often that we get this level of tennis on our doorstep, so it's a great opportunity for people to see very high level tennis close to home.
Pretty much the highest level of tennis in Scotland, with the exception of recent Davis Cup ties.
Here's Masur coming off 2 breaks of serve in a row.
15 love.
Solid serving so far from the German. And again, 114 miles an hour. Top singles ranking of 203 from Masur.
I think that was his first serve and volley point of the match there. Just do it in at 40 love for a bit of variety. Shouldn't be too harmful to him.
Game, Bemelmans, Masur.
Much better game from Masur.
2 games all.
Yeah, he hit some good first serves there, well directed, with Bemelmans backing him up at the net. And so far in this set, they've done what we kind of asked them to do. They've not only had a decent percentage of first serves, but they've won the majority of them.
Very cutely cut out there by JP Smith. Might have been flying long, but he made absolutely no mistake.
Another good double-handed backhand volley there.
30 love.
If you watch Masur there, he's done the right thing. He's looked to kind of put pressure on Jamie's volley with a cross, but compared to the full-time doubles guys, his forward pressure was much less, so he had to volley from further back and wasn't able to finish the point.
And this time Bemelmans does put the high volley away. It's not been his strong suit so far in the match, but that's much better.
That's a good reaction from Bemelmans there, showing that he's mentally into the match. As a team, they're still really focused and looking to find a way to really hurt Murray and Smith with their return game here.
He's dialed in now, Ruben Bemelmans. It's important for the dynamics of the partnership, isn't it? You need to let your partner know you're right there, right back in it.
Yeah, and he's been a little bit inconsistent with his forehand return. I think maybe Jamie's just gone there one time too often that time, and he put it right at his feet, and then very good second shot.
Oh, so the double fault brings up double break point on the Jamie Murray serve.
Yeah, just a little bit of pressure from 30 love to 30 on, and he overdid it a little with that second serve. Here's a big moment in this second set now.
Game, Bemelmans, Masur.
Well, he's dragged his team right back into it, Ruben Bemelmans, in that game, and that's a really big break.
Bemelmans, Masur, 3-2.
And I think one thing you have to ask Jamie after the match perhaps, but one thing that I think I've seen during this event in terms of the balls is that as they get a little bit older, they certainly fluff up a little and get a bit slower, and it'd be interesting to ask Jamie there if he just wasn't getting the ball to kind of move around as much with the old balls, because I think what we played, that's the 15th game, so you get ball change after 16 games. So that was the second last game with the old balls, and you could see there he looked to use his wide serve there, which usually wouldn't have as much speed as his tee serve to the ad side, but it really didn't go off the court and kind of go away from Bemelmans with a lot of spin and speed. So, and he had the chance to pick his spot and hit the forehand winner. So now he's in with the old balls for the last game. Let's see if it affects his service game at all.
Serving behind the break in the second set for a break down. Sorry, a set down. Ruben Bemelmans and Daniel Masur.
Love 15.
Intriguingly poised final here. First set Murray Smith, but first break in the second set. Bemelmans Masur.
Lights. Fisher.
Yeah, similar pattern to the first set really, with Murray and Smith going to break down early.
Yep.
I'm sure they're still confident that they'll be able to create some chances to regain the advantage there. Really good.
That is the point of the match so far, surely. Terrific doubles.
Love 30.
And Mystic McDonald could be right here. If we break back for 3-all, that would be an exact repetition of the first set. What a
Really
lob
good.
that was from Jamie Murray. Absolute perfection. The top spin just taking it away from the straining Bemelmans. That was not coming back, no chance. All of a sudden.
Yep, and that's again 2 points in a row where they've played just with a regular formation and no movement. There and there when they were break point down, they kind of made a little bit of a play with Masur crossing, so they're kind of waiting till the crisis point before they start using a bit more variety, which perhaps they could throw a few more moves and stuff in a bit earlier on.
One break point saved. Ooh. 2 break points saved. Nicely played from Masur at the net.
Yeah, I think Smith actually had the chance to do a bit better there than he did with that second shot that he had. Again, a move, a formation, and a cross from the servers there on the break point.
Juice deciding point. Receiver's choice.
Now a very strong play from Bemelmans on his serve. 3 break points successfully defended, but there's still one more to come.
Yeah, big moment now, I think. In context of the match, they'll feel pretty confident of winning this set if they can get to this point. Bemelmans and Masur. There was another cross there.
Game, Bemelmans, Masur. New ball swings.
Well, that's much better
Bemelmans,
from the
Masur
racket
with
of
4 games to
Bemelmans.
2.
That dry volley. Consolidating the break.
Yeah, and if you think about it, you would probably say that for a team like this, if they played together more often, they would probably be well advised to use some of that variation which they executed well with the crossing and the I formation earlier in their service game, so that it's not quite as predictable. You don't want to wait till you're love 40 to start producing moves like that.
Love 15.
Well, this is a really good final now, and the momentum just edging towards Bemelmans Masur at the minute.
Well, he likes that backhand line, Bemelmans. He's hitting it well. Jamie dealt with the speed well, just redirected it off the court.
$30-15.
JP Smith won in Atlanta last year on the ATP Tour. He was also in the final of the Australian, the mixed, with Astra Sharma. Runners up. And he's serving well here. Important 2-4.
40-15.
Yeah, with the new balls, you can just see the ball kind of swinging around a bit more, jumping around, a little bit tougher to return.
Let's for serve.
Just about brushed the top of the net there. The line judge is
40,
still
30.
nursing a sore shoulder there from where he caught that JP Smith serve a couple moments ago. I think he'll be fine.
Okay, Murray Smith.
JP Smith skips away to his chair, ending the game in style there.
Bemelmans Masur lead 4 games to 3.
Important to keep their opponents honest. Already a breakdown. Don't want to be too down in the second set. Rehydration for JP Smith. I'm not really sure what Jamie's eating. Some kind of nutrition bar, protein bar.
Yeah,
What's
he's got
that?
some sort of bar on the go there. It's important you kind of make sure that you sort of snack very lightly kind of as the match goes on, just so you've got enough energy all the way through the match. It's quite easy to take your eye off that and suddenly at the end of the match go a little bit off a cliff and it's too late to do anything about it to get it back into your system.
Time.
We're approaching the hour here. 57 minutes played. Really good Murray Trophy doubles final. Scotstoun Leisure Centre in Glasgow.
15 love.
And if Masur can hold serve here, then Jamie Murray will be serving to stay in the second set. Strong returning again from JP Smith.
15 all.
Yeah, that's a situation that I mentioned earlier that it's really tough for Masur to deal with when Smith is returning hard cross court into his backhand corner and Jamie up at the net. It's very hard to defend that.
Oh, Jamie will be furious there. That was a really good improvised return. Set his team up well.
15.
Yeah, it was uncharacteristic because, as you said, he did very well to control the return. He got jammed up. Actually ended up almost in control of the point.
Let for serve.
Doesn't normally miss much at the net at all, Jamie Murray.
No, it looked like he almost expected the ball to come a little harder there and was slightly on his heels compared to how he would usually look to volley. Oh, wow.
Well, I was hesitating. I thought that serve was long.
Maybe caught a bit of the line, but what we know for sure is that Bemelmans wasn't thinking of hitting a drop volley on an extreme angle into the trams there. He just got a little lucky there, although he did well to keep his wrist strong.
Game. Bemelmans
Get the ball in.
Well, a much better second set from Bemelmans Masur.
Bemelmans Masur lead 5 games
Yeah, I
to 3.
think I just feel when they got through that last service game, you kind of start to sniff the match tiebreak coming a little bit. I think if Jamie and JP had managed to get the break there, they would have been strong favourites to finish this in 2 sets, but now they need a good hold here and then look to create some chances in the next game. Or at the very least feel like he's got some good rhythm on his serve going into the match tiebreak.
That's very nice from Masur. That angle
Love 15.
was incredible. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean the backhand volley drop shot from Bemelmans in the previous game was a little lucky, but that was 100% intended from Masur. Very good shot.
Well, he's seeing the ball like a football now, and he's got all the angles covered, the German. And well, might he smile? That's 2 exquisite points back to back.
Yeah, and if you, I mean, in terms of what I was talking about before, about being unpredictable, having some variety, and not letting the opponents just return to the server, often that Jamie and JP have gone away from that a little bit themselves, I think.
Well, that was a very nice serve from Jamie Murray, but it's loose from his partner. And all of a sudden, ignore that caption, it's quadruple set point. And we really do have a final on our hands. First set point saved by a very nice first serve.
15-14.
Yeah, it was a well-directed serve there, and the correct play that time to not to do any movement, because it's very hard to redirect a serve jammed into your body like that cross court on your backhand as a lefty there.
Set point number 2 saved by Jamie Murray.
30-14.
Terrific serving again. Well, this is really good from Jamie Murray. His little brother Andy, of course, is brilliant in positions like this. Many's a time you've seen him face off love 40. Yeah. Three set points have come and gone for Bemelmans Masur. Masur makes no mistake on set point number 4.
6 games to 3, 1 set.
And it's small margins. I think that was another tee serve from Jamie that didn't really swing away from his opponent enough, and he's shown with that return, Masur, that he's very secure on his backhand side. You need to get him stretching and, if possible, taking his left hand off the racket to really expose that side. So that'll be key for Murray and Smith in the match tiebreak, is serving their spots well, making sure that they're asking their opponents some tough questions, making them hit low percentage shots from good serves. Not much in it on the stats, but
better from both teams actually.
Yeah,
first serve.
But the areas that we said that the Belgian-German combo would have to improve on, they've done that. You know, they had that one game where they were love 40, which they got through, but overall their serving stats are much more secure there. First serve points winning 3 out of every 4 points, and second serve winning 2 out of every 3 points. So they're taking care of their serves a lot better, which will stand them in good stead for this tiebreak.
Well, if you like your drama, we're about to serve you some, because this Murray Trophy doubles title will be settled by the match tiebreak. First to 10 by 2 full points will lift the trophy.
One, 0. Bemelmans Masur.
Well, the crowd is slightly more on edge now.
Yep, and a couple of key points here, I think, for Murray and Smith to set a marker down of playing some positive, proactive serve points.
Oh, that's very nice from Ruben Bemelmans.
2-0, Bemelmans Masur.
Well, in the last 15-20 minutes, his level has gone through the roof, the Belgian, in fairness to him. Slow starter. But everything is coming off the middle of the racket now. So a mini break
2-1
for the Belgian-German combo.
Yeah, they were break up in the first set and the second set, of course. Now they've got the first mini break in the match tie break. But Jamie and JP showing some good energy here. They're certainly still focused on making it happen here, finding a way to get back into things.
That's very nice tennis. Nothing wrong with the serve or the return.
Bemelmans Masur.
Bemelmans very solid at the net. It's a good standard here. It's a good final. And at the moment, it's just edging towards Masur Bemelmans, but we shall see. Well, in the first set that was missing from the Bemelmans racket.
Bemelmans Masur.
Much better skill and control on the overheads lately.
Yeah, it was a good second serve there. And they've got their 2 service points, which has extended their advantage and definitely put some pressure on these 2 points now for Jamie and JP.
First to 10, remember, in this match tie break.
Let's. Second serve.
Very clever. Very clever from Jamie Murray, just redirecting the ball into the open court, wrong footing his opponents.
One thing he definitely won't do is panic at this point. They're both experienced enough to know that in these match tie breaks you just have to take care of things that you can control, keep trying to play your game. If you go behind early, there's still plenty of space to pull things back, and a lot of these match tie breaks can have a few twists and turns in them, that's for sure. I say from bitter experience.
Well, you don't win 7 Grand Slam titles in doubles and mixed doubles without being able to handle the odd pressure point or two, that's for sure. It's easy to underplay Jamie Murray's magnificent achievements because of the extraordinary achievements of little brother. Not bad for a family. 3 Grand Slam singles titles, 7 doubles. At the moment, though, a real fight on his hands, Jamie Murray with JP Smith to get their hands on this Murray Trophy, because the opponents are halfway there at 5-3.
And they've really done what they, especially from that game where they got out of the Love 40, they've really done what they needed to do, which is keep playing to win, being aggressive, making it hard for Smith and Murray to get balls in play easily on return. Here's a half chance now, though. Second serve. Will there be a formation or a move?
It's a good hold.
Yeah, and Masur faked there to move, to do a cross, and Jamie returned line. Whether it was because he saw the fake or he pre-planned it, I'm not sure, but Masur dealt with the backhand volley well.
JP Smith serving now, still the mini breakdown.
At this stage, you just need to make sure you don't give anything away. Keep trying to win your service points. Like that.
6-4, Bemelmans Masur.
Make sure that anything your opponents get, they're going to have to really earn. And then hope that when they come to serve in the pressure situations, something gives.
Well, the Scotstoun crowds urging
6-5.
JP Smith and Jamie Murray forward, urging them to stay in contention, which is exactly what they've done in this match tiebreak.
Yeah, and what you're telling yourself is really, look to just get one of these two return points. They're only one mini breakdown. If they can find a way to take one of these points, then the whole complexion of the tiebreak changes, especially if it's the first one, in which case fancy yourself to get another as well.
7-5.
More excellent serving though.
Bemelmans Masur.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the Masur and Bemelmans level has gone up the longer the match has gone on. And they're so much in the zone there, they almost forgot to change ends, which they have done. And all of a sudden, if Masur can hold serve here on this next point, he and his partner will just be a couple away from the title.
On this side, they've been less likely to do a switch because Masur's more likely to stay on his forehand side, and it's Bemelmans' backhand volley in the middle of the court, as Jamie just exploited there. So actually returning in the middle there was quite an effective play, because Bemelmans wouldn't have been too comfortable taking that ball.
Great returning from Jamie Murray. That ball dipped low after it passed the net, making it really difficult for Bemelmans to control.
Two huge points now. If they can get through these two, Murray and Smith, then there's a lot of pressure on the opponents.
We are back on serve in this match tiebreak.
Oh, it's so good. Wow. I'm not surprised he avoided the Bemelmans forehand that time. I think he'd served there a little too much previously, but it was a great return and unbelievable pickup. It's hard to explain how difficult that shot is. I think that you'd have to say a real top doubles player would have basically been sitting on top of the net, though Masur was on his way back almost, rather than ready to polish off what came from Jamie's racket there. But nevertheless, amazing hands to make the half volley like that.
Just off the frame of the Smith racket there, gave Bemelmans the opportunity to break back. Well, a fascinating final is boiling beautifully to a climax here. Bemelmans, Masur, basically, if they hold serve, they win.
Yeah, that just came a little awkward for Smith, that return in the middle, kind of high in his backhand volley. He went with that double hander again and couldn't quite control it.
Oh, and he's missed it, and he's absolutely frustrated, Ruben Bemelmans. But that was nice returning from JP Smith.
Yeah, did extremely well to get the ball in play there for good first serve, and Jamie made his move, got in Bemelmans' eye line, and he forced him to miss the volley, even though he had space down the line in the end.
Oh, inches away from Jamie Murray.
Bemelmans Masur.
Yeah, and they were, I mean, if that had dropped in, then that was a winner probably, because I think they were looking to cross again there.
So match point, Bemelmans, Masur, championship point indeed. But it's on the JP Smith serve. And it's now on the JP Smith second serve. Huge moment this. Oh! Disappointment and frustration for JP Smith. But a very, very good final. It's won by Ruben Bemelmans and Daniel Masur.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
10-8 on the match tiebreak.
final. Please stay in your seats as the presentation is about to take place.
Well, that was high caliber stuff, wouldn't you say, Alan, in the end?
Yeah, all credit to Bemelmans and Masur for the level they were able to play. As the match wore on, they took care of their own serves better and better, and I thought Masur was very impressive throughout on return, and Bemelmans started to find a rhythm much more as the match wore on, and I think in the end that Murray and Smith just couldn't quite hit enough good spots with their serves, maybe didn't quite make enough first serves at the big moments, and it just cost them a little bit in the end. Because the opponents were able to find some strong returns.
There we have the match summary, and after an hour and 16 minutes, the fairy tale final ending that the Scotstoun crowd was hoping for didn't quite come to pass. They had hoped that the Flower of Scotland would be for a Jamie Murray win in this trophy named after his own family. But I think the fact that he was in the final at all has just lifted things here, given the tournament, the profile, and almost the ending that they were looking for. But you have to credit the opponents today, playing against two good players and a home crowd. Bemelmans and Masur improved consistently throughout the match. Decent in the first set, very good in the second, and in the clutch moments, very strong in that match tiebreak.
Yeah, agreed. Like we said at the start of the match, for a scratch pair, it's not so easy to come together and really maximise as a team straight away. And I think that Masur and Bemelmans, they obviously enjoyed playing together. They kept their mentality right, and they played to win all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the doubles presentation for the Murray Trophy here in Glasgow at the Scotstoun Leisure Centre. The Murray Trophy is being staged by the LTA in partnership with Tennis Scotland, Glasgow Life and Glasgow City Council. This tournament has been named in tribute to the Murray family's contribution to the game, with Jamie working behind the scenes on the planning of the event.
My former colleague at the BBC, Rona McLeod, doing the MC honours here. We'll hopefully hear from all of the players.
I would now like to welcome the presentation party to the court. Please welcome the Lord Provost of Glasgow, Councillor Eva Bollander. Please welcome Billy Garrett, the Director of Sport and Events at Glasgow Life. Please welcome David Rollinson, Deputy President of the LTA. And please welcome Rick Gardner, President of Tennis Scotland. Now, to collect their trophy from Billy Garrett, please show your appreciation for the runners-up, JP Smith and Jamie Murray.
Huge ovation for Jamie Murray, as you would expect, and his partner, JP Smith. Couldn't quite get the job done today in the final, but very nice tournament for them nonetheless. We should hopefully be hearing from both of them very shortly.
And now, to collect their trophy from the Lord Provost, please welcome the winners of the Murray Trophy, Ruben Bemelmans and Daniel Masur.
Nice ovation from the crowd for the Murray Trophy champions. They've never played doubles together before, but well, I wonder if they might reconsider now after winning here at
before we
Scotstoun.
speak to our winners, let's have a word with our runners-up. Jamie, I know that you were in it to win it. How are you feeling now? It didn't quite all go to plan.
I mean, I'm disappointed to lose, obviously, in the final, but I think the guys played well. They came back strong in the second set and held their nerve well in the tiebreak. But it was a good level match. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it.
And JP, we have very much enjoyed seeing you play, but also enjoyed your post-match interviews. You're certainly a crowd pleaser here now in Glasgow. What has the week been like for you?
It's been a fantastic week. You know, big ups to Jamie for giving me the opportunity to play this week. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. And just everyone in Glasgow and everyone's come out, the ladies, everyone's put on a great event. The sponsors, obviously, wouldn't be possible without these guys, and obviously the officials and volunteers. And yeah, it's been a great week, and obviously the LTA can take note of a great event like this.
Thank you. And Jamie, just for you, in summing up, you were summing up the match. What about summing up how the week has been, the organisation, just the whole event from your point of view?
I think it's been an amazing week of tennis. I think a lot of people put in a lot of hard work to make this event happen. Obviously the LTA, Tennis Scotland, Glasgow Live. I mean, a lot of brilliant volunteers here this week. The ball kids as well have been amazing. The umpires, line judges, everyone's got right into the spirit of the event. And you know, for me, you know, I wanted to give people the chance to come out and watch tennis in Scotland, and you know, get to experience a live professional tennis event. We've had some amazing Davis Cup ties in the past, but yeah, this is our chance for people to come out and watch. I hope you guys all had a positive experience.
We certainly did. Ladies and gentlemen, our runners-up, Jamie and JP, thank you so much. And now a big cheer, please, for our winners, Bemelmans and Masur. Well, guys, you certainly know how to upset a plan, but that's what sport is all about. Tell me about the match going into today. Did you feel like you were underdogs?
Yes, definitely. JP and Jamie are great doubles players. Jamie has won many Grand Slams already, so definitely we were the underdogs. But no, Daniel and me, we were playing big tennis this week, playing well together for the first time actually. But I think our games are compatible one to another, so no, it was an amazing week.
It is a brand new partnership. Is it one that you think that you might continue with?
Yeah, definitely. We spoke about it already during the week, and yeah, thank you, Ruben, for playing with me this week. Yeah, I also wanted to thank everybody who came here today, and the great atmosphere was yeah, just amazing to play here. Especially for a challenger event facing Jamie in the final. Normally I should watch some videos on YouTube to learn how to play doubles. I mean, yeah, this match has been really great, and I appreciated that Ruben played with me this week, and yeah, hope to come back maybe next year.
Well, we certainly would love to see you next year. Have you had a sense of Glasgow and Scottish hospitality? Has this event felt different for you?
Man, the show up is great. Not many challengers has a crowd like this. I think Glasgow is really lucky to have you guys. Me personally, we've met already in Ghent, the finals Davis Cup. So we had a great party there, but no, the crowd is amazing, very fair, unbelievable. Also, yeah, the tournament organization is spotless. So yeah, thanks to all the sponsors, LTA. It's an amazing event that Glasgow has here.
And last question, what does it mean to be taking home the silverware after this event?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, yes, exactly. Hopefully I don't have to pay for it for the flight back home, because my luggage is already pretty heavy now. But it's really nice. Obviously, when I play on challenger events, I don't take trophies back home every week, so it's definitely something special, and I leave. And I'll leave Glasgow with a fantastic feeling, and yeah, as I said, I hope to be back next year. Thanks a lot.
Well done, a big round of applause for our winners. Thank you very much.
Well, some very nice words there from the winners and from the beaten finalists. And just summing up in terms of the doubles,
well, ladies and gentlemen,
Alan,
that brings our doubles
a lot of what was said there
presentation
was
to an end.
absolutely
The
true. I
singles
think
action will be starting
the event,
shortly,
the way it's
but in
been
the meantime,
showcased,
another huge round of applause for
the
our
crowds that they've
runners-up
had, it's
and
been a
the
success so
winners
far.
of the Murray Trophy
Yeah, I think
2019.
for sure. Yeah, I think everyone spoke really well in the interviews there, and you know, from what I've heard from everyone who's played the event this week and been around it, like, you know, that's the feeling from most of the players. Like, they've been well looked after. They've really enjoyed their time in Glasgow, and it is great to have a crowd like this, and to have an atmosphere like this in the final of a tournament. And whether the crowd supporting you or not, you'd rather play in front of, you know, 1,000 people rooting against you than 10 people supporting you, because that's where you feed off the kind of adrenaline and the buzz of playing with an atmosphere like that. Would have helped Bemelmans and Masur a lot, even though they knew that most of the people here didn't want them to win.
Well, we shall leave you for the moment, but don't go too far away, because we are around about 20 minutes, half an hour or so away from the singles final. Alexander Müller against Emil Ruusuvuori will cap what has been a terrific week so far here at Scotstoun Leisure Centre. And there are some nice shots of the winners of the first trophy, the doubles champions, Ruben Bemelmans of Belgium and Daniel Masur of Germany. Terrific words from them. They are delighted champions, and we'll be back with you very shortly for the singles final.
much. That was the doubles final, and it's almost time for the Murray Trophy singles final. But first, as you can see, we have a very special demonstration from the future of the sport. We have some of the players from the GB National Academy in Stirling. The Stirling Academy is one of two national academies in Britain, which is for the best children aged 14 to 18 in the country. And it's fantastic to have this world-class academy in Scotland. Please welcome our players and also the GB National Tennis Academy head coach, Leo Azevedo. So Leo, tell us about some of the people that are here, what they had to do to qualify to go to the National Academy to be selected.
Good afternoon, everybody. LTA make like a short list here. This year was 37 players, and then after this year is 16. So wait for St. Sterling and then for the St. after. So it's pretty much a selective process.
Can you tell us the age range of these players here today?
Here we have the youngest one is Ursula. She's 11, and the oldest one, Sam, and this Schmalfer ranking, who are 15.
So 11 to 15 years old. Presumably they don't just play tennis, they also go to school. How does the education work within the academy?
Well, education is a very important part of the project. So they always play at our academy, and they live there as well. So their full time there is an important part for us. Not just the player, but the person as well.
So they go to our academy. Do they follow the full school day there, or do they have time off during the day for tennis practice?
Well, it's an interesting timetable, so we need to find time for school, fitness, physio, tennis, but there you go, so they can do everything.
What kind of support do they have when they're at the academy?
Well, they have the coaches, they have nutritionists, they have SEC, they have doctors, they have physio, they have psychology, people from tennis Scotland also helping travel arrangements, they have the teachers in school, support from the support from parents. It's not for the lack of support that they don't play.
It certainly sounds like a fantastic amount of backup that these young players are receiving. How difficult is the pathway from this standard to then actually going on and playing in a professional tour?
It's very tough. It's not easy. We understand just the top 100, top 150 players that they lead tennis. So I think it's the right moment to create something more professional for them with all this support. And they have a good 4 or 5 years, 6, 7 to see the end of the day if they will be able to become professional or not. And if not, I think tennis is always a good way to teach some values for the rest of their lives.
Can you tell us how long has the National Academy been going for and how different it is than what was available before for young British players?
Next week will be 1 month, so this is the 4th week. Tomorrow we start the 4th week. We are very happy with all the players. We are very happy with the support that we have from the Institute of Sports in Scotland, Tennis Scotland, LTA. So far so good. I think that not just the teams, but we go for learning and have fun. So it's days is something very special. We create this kind of environment, we play good plays together, we push each other. 8-year made in England is something that USA did in the last 10 years, and they're seeing the results right now with all the young ones becoming very strong. Back home in France, a lot of good academies in Spain that create this environment. So I think that we see some good results in 5-10 years. Not with these kids, but British tennis overall.
We know that around this age, Judy and Murray both went abroad to tennis academies. So has this been set up to keep her talent at home?
I think he has an option to be here. I think by the time that Andy and Jamie left Scotland, didn't have any options. So I think it's one more option that we are giving to these young players. We also understand its importance in moments we go abroad, so we have some times in Spain, taking them to expose them to the right play. We go in 2 weeks to Spain, spend 1 week there. So yes, I think it's try to combine. We have a lot of resources here. Combine both, or why not be home and try to make the players from here.
I would like to, if possible, speak to one of the players, a Scotland player within. So is that fine? Can you just, is there a role? How do we get around that? How does practice? Hello there, Masur. I'm sorry to disturb your practice. I just want to find out a little about you and how you're enjoying your experience in the academy. So tell us, where are you from and how old are you?
So I'm from Edinburgh and I'm 15 years old.
And so what does that make you at school? Are you fourth year or fifth year?
I'm actually in third year. Yeah.
So what has the experience been like so far being at the academy?
It's been really good. It's a big program, lots of tennis, lots of fitness. I feel like I'm doing a lot better as a tennis player, which is very good.
And tell me about your school, because presumably coming from Edinburgh, you were not already at the academy.
No, I was at Mercer Catholic School and moved to Dog Academy for the tennis academy.
So was that a tough decision for you, or is it a complete no-brainer if you're over the place?
Well, because I got offered the place, I was able to go to Dog Academy and the GBNTA, so yeah, it's been a no-brainer.
What do you think this will do for your prospects of becoming a much improved player to have this opportunity?
Oh, it's a great opportunity. I'm really looking forward to the journey of being in the GBNTA. And it'll be a long journey, but I'm really looking forward to it.
And tell me about these guys around the court. What is life like when you're working so closely with a small group like this?
Oh, it's really good. All the guys are really nice, good banter. We all have so much fun. We love playing tennis and working hard, so it's amazing.
Now, you're a young Scottish player. What has it meant to you to have Andy and Jamie Murray to look up to as a fellow Scot? Do you believe that anything is possible?
Yeah, it's amazing to look up to these guys. These like big idols to me, and like people that I want to be in the future.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to your practice. Thank you very much for having a chat with us. Everybody, a big round of applause for Matthew. Thank you. So Leo, tell me about some of the talent at the academy. Have you got something to say about these guys?
Some of what, sorry?
Tell us a bit about the players on the court.
Okay. So the Scottish one is Masur ranking, so 15 years old. Then we have this at the right side of the chair umpire. We have Ella McDonald, the lefty with blue racket. She's 14. Hepzibah, she's the youngest one that we have. She'll turn 12 in October. She just won this point. So then the other one this side is Sam Reeve. He's 15, big boy here. The other side we have Henry Jefferson, 13 years old as well. He's the youngest boy. The girl hitting is Millie Skelton, 14 years old. The one in a red shirt is Hannah Reid. She's 13 years old. She's the second youngest girl. And then we have one player not playing, Stalia. Unfortunately, she got injury, but she's part of the group as well. So myself as a head coach, and I think that all the team in Scotland, we are very happy with the group of players that we have.
And this absolutely could be the future stars of British tennis.
It's the future. Let's see if we'll be the stars or not, but we're working hard to make them be stars. So it'll be interesting to see where they will be in a couple of years. It's very exciting.
And as you were saying, it's a very difficult competitive path to make it all the way through. But I guess these guys are in such a good environment to learn about the culture of tennis and professional sport as well.
Yeah, it's a great environment. I think when you grow in such environment that combine education, sports, all like this, they're together pretty much all day. Like it's a great environment. Like I said, I think that is the best thing for them as a tennis players. But also, I think life skills is such a great opportunity for them.
Well, we very much enjoyed being able to watch the practice today. We'll give you a few minutes to wind up just at the end of the practice. But ladies and gentlemen, a big cheer, please, for the GB National Tennis Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please return to your seats as the singles final is about to begin in a few minutes' time. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our singles final is about to begin shortly, but first of all, I have a very special guest who I'm sure you will all want to give a huge welcome to. Please welcome Mummy Judy Murray. Huge welcome, as Jamie has been receiving a huge welcome all week. Tell me first of all, just what are your thoughts about how this has all gone?
I think it's been amazing, you know, for a first time. Couldn't have gone better. I think the crowd, the support, the organisation, the volunteers, the ball kids, everybody that's helped to put it together. It's been a massive, huge team effort, and yeah, I mean, we couldn't have been happier. A great doubles final, great fun. Jamie's been brilliant all week. I mean, he must be absolutely knackered. He's sort of put himself out there doing all sorts of different things. But yeah, you know, we're huge believers in trying to grow our sport and trying to open it up to as many people as we can, not just on the playing side, but on the coaching side, and obviously on the watching, the spectating side. So in that respect, it's been a great success, and hopefully next year will be even bigger and even better.
Away from the court, it's also been a really busy week for you with the Judy Murray Foundation. So tell everybody a little bit about that and the kind of things you've been getting up to.
Yeah, I started my foundation about 18 months ago, and our aim is to take tennis into rural and disadvantaged areas of Scotland so that many, many more people have the chance to play in areas that you might not have normally expected to find tennis. And what we do is we build workforces within the local communities. So we will teach anybody who wants to, you know, mums and dads, teachers, students, 5th and 6th year pupils, youth leaders, club members, how to deliver starter coaching and starter competition so that we can really open the game up, because we've had such a big opportunity to grow tennis up here because of the interest and excitement in it, because of Andy and Jamie's success. So we're trying to do our bit to grow the game. So we've had wonderful support from all sorts of people helping me with the foundation. Almost everybody is voluntary, including some wonderful Murray-nators. I see you all there with your t-shirts on. But we couldn't do it without you. We've been really busy this week, and that's been a wonderful side effect of the Murray Trophy. What? Oh no. Oh no. No, you can walk around the side. Sorry everybody. It's Duncan. I told him that Jamie's match was at 3 o'clock. I don't normally let him on the tennis court because he can't even catch the ball.
I brought bananas for the boys here. Looking forward to a good final today with Jamie and JP, and I really think we're going to smash it. We're really going to do well. So where do we sit for the match? Where are we going?
Well, you've missed it. They just finished and they lost.
Yeah. The one time I get to come to a match and they actually... I am a jinx. I'm rubbish. Did you tell them to smash it and mash it? And did you tell them to slice it and dice it and to really grab the bat, you know, and really hit those shuttlecocks down the train lines?
The train lines?
Yeah, down the train lines. Did you tell them?
This is why I don't let him out very often. He just doesn't get it.
Yeah, no, I told JP to make sure he played with the heart of Harold Bishop, you know, and the tenacity of Alf Ramsey. So I hope he heeded that advice.
I think he did. He had a kilt on as well.
I love that, yeah. So what happens now? Are we going for like a kind of a lunch with the family to get over it, or what happens?
Well, not wearing that top, you're not.
But hearts, glorious hearts. I thought the whole family loves hearts.
The whole family loves Hibs except you. That's why you're such a disappointment.
She's just feeling really upset today because she's been crying all morning when she found out Felicio Lopez was married. So.
It's Feliciano, not Felicio. I keep telling you that.
I don't know the names. I just know Rodney Federer and I know Rafa Benitez, and that's it. So.
I have to say that as a journalist, and I've known you a long time, Judy, I'm somewhat embarrassed about the third son. You have really been keeping him secret.
Well, you can see why, can't you?
I can absolutely see why. Well, it was lovely to meet you, Duncan. Lovely to meet you. No, that's fine. And ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause, please, for Judy and for Duncan. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to welcome our Murray Trophy singles finalists. From France, he's 22 years old and is playing in his first Challenger Tour final. He eliminated the #1 seed in the second round. He's the number 16 seed here in Glasgow. Please welcome Alexandra Müller. And his opponent. He's a young star on the rise, beating the world #5 Dominic Thiem in the Davis Cup last weekend. He's 20 years old and already has 2 Challenger Tour titles to his name. From Finland, please welcome Emil Ruusuvuori.
Well, hello again everyone, and welcome back to Scotstoun Leisure Centre, the Murray Trophy Finals Day in the West End of Glasgow. We've just witnessed a terrific doubles final.
Lucas Rogers from Newlands Tennis Club. Lucas has been playing
as we're hearing
tennis
there, Lucas Rogers from Newlands will be performing the coin toss for this men's final, which should be like the doubles, which is won by Bemelmans and Masur, to the disappointment of Jamie Murray and John Patrick Smith. This singles final should also be a cracking tennis match. Alexandra Müller against Emil Ruusuvuori. It's France against Finland. And Ruusuvuori in the red top and red baseball cap there. Well, he's the coming man. Things have really been going his way this summer, and it looks like that's continued as well, because it looks like he's even won the coin toss. And I'm joined yet again by Alan McDonald, Jamie Murray's coach, and I'm fascinated to see close up and personal this young Finnish player, Emil Ruusuvuori. He's been ripping it up on the Challenger circuit this year.
Our chair umpire
He's
for the final is Ben
for great things. What did you make of him?
Reminder, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, hi Geraldine. Yeah, there's a bit of buzz around him at the moment in terms of both his consistency of results on the Challenger Tour, where he's been, you know, making a lot of finals. He's won, I think, 2 or 3 tournaments this year already. And he obviously had that kind of marquee result against Dominic Thiem in the Davis Cup. which is very impressive for him to win that match. So, you know, he's got some weaponry. Ruusuvuori, he knows how to kind of impose himself on his opponents, and Muller's going to have his hands full today in terms of countering that.
There's his progress. He's done well, come through against Kamka, Rodionov. Good players he's beaten on the way to the final, and as you rightly say, the standout result, which I think got everyone sitting up and taking notice, was a victory over Dominic Thiem. Not just a victory, a 6-3, 6-2 annihilation of one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, and I haven't actually watched as much of Ruusuvuori this week as I have of Muller, but from his results and not just in this tournament but previously, I think he's quite a good front runner. You know, if he gets ahead, then he has the weaponry and the kind of mentality to stay ahead and really pile the pressure on his opponent.
And Muller's been saying it's been the best week of his tennis career actually so far.
Yes, and I've seen him play a couple of times, and I've been impressed with him. His temperament is good. He keeps calm. I feel like he's tactically quite a smart player. He's got a few different options that he uses, especially on his backhand side, to disrupt the rhythm of his opponent. He's been slicing a lot in the tournament in the singles so far, which he used very well, in particular in the match against the Spanish player Kuhn that I watched earlier in the week. So if there's somebody in the draw who's probably equipped tactically to deal with Ruusuvuori and maybe disrupt what he's trying to do, then perhaps it is Muller who can do that job.
Well, let's take a look at Emil Ruusuvuori.
3 minutes.
His year could scarcely have gone any better. We mentioned that magnificent win over Dominic Thiem in Davis Cup. And he's 20 years old, the Finn. He's Finland's top-ranked player. He's the youngest ever challenger champion. His maiden title in Fergana, Uzbekistan, back in June. And then he also won at the challenger in Mallorca, where a certain Andy Murray was playing. And the chap that beat Andy Murray, Matteo Viola, was in the final against Ruusuvuori, and Ruusuvuori annihilated him 6-love, 6-1.
Well, that's right, and that's really the pattern that I was mentioning there. You know, when he gets on top, it seems like he's very good at hammering home his advantage, and I think it's going to be really interesting in the early stages here. What Muller does to counter him. You know, if he lets him get ahead, then it could be a tough day for Muller, because he's not got quite as much firepower as Ruusuvuori. He's solid in most departments, and he moves well, and is pretty good counter puncher, moves along the baseline with good foot speed, and is pretty good at manufacturing shots under pressure. But I think on his own serve, the key for him is to be comfortable. Certainly the first 2 or 3 service games for him, you know, get some solid holds on the board and try to apply a bit of pressure to the Finn, who I think is rightfully the favourite in this match based on recent results and his trajectory at the moment. But like I said before, I think Muller has the temperament and the mentality that if he has, and also the tactical awareness, that if he gets the chance to get into the match and really compete, then he's not gonna let it go easily. So I'm hoping that we'll have a really interesting and entertaining kind of match-up here.
Well, today's chair umpire is Ben Anderson. We're here at the Murray Trophy in Glasgow, Scotstoun Leisure Centre. It's all been staged by the LTA in partnership with Tennis Scotland's Glasgow Life and Glasgow City Council. It's been a terrifically successful week, and we're hoping that this singles final will be the fitting climax. We had an excellent doubles final, narrowly lost by Jamie Murray and John Patrick Smith. We didn't quite get the fairy tale finish to the event, which would have been Jamie Murray lifting his own trophy. Instead, it was Bemelmans and Masur who came through in the match tiebreak. But it has been a terrific event so far here in the West End of Glasgow this week. It's part of a new expanded calendar of tournaments being put together by the LTA across Britain, looking to showcase tennis away from the traditional summer grass court season try to open up the sport to more fans around the country.
This will be the best of 3 tiebreak sets. Emil Ruusuvuori won a toss and chose to serve.
The LTA, of course, named this tournament in tribute to the Murray family's contribution to the game, and Jamie's worked with the LTA and Glasgow Life behind the scenes to plan the event.
Ready, play.
It has been a terrific week so far, and the final's about to get underway.
I love 15.
That's a nice composed start from the Frenchman.
Yes, and straight away, most of the things I've seen in his game that I've liked were on show there. Good backhand, good court coverage. And also using a bit of variety with the slice backhand, which I think he'll utilise again. Also in the first point, he tends to chip his forehand return a lot, which he's quite good at just getting it neutral into play low off the first serve. So Ruusuvuori might need to deal with that on his serve.
15-13.
Slightly edgy start from the Finnish favourite. Was around both these players at their potential top 100 players. And Finn's edging his way towards that already. Projected new ranking of 142 after this week. And that's why. Terrific forehand winner.
Yeah, he's got some firepower there. He uses his body really well on his forehand. You can see from the legs and the way he kind of turns into it, he really accelerates through it. I think Muller rightfully just questioning whether that was actually in or not. That downline forehand is very close.
40-30.
No Hawkeye, of course, on hand for the players. Relying on the eyes of the line judges and the umpire.
Game, Ruusuvuori. First game.
Nice hold from Ruusuvuori, but signs already that Muller was seeing the ball well. Some good returns. These pairs never played each other before. Muller, the older of the two, at 22.
Ancient.
Yeah. Looking for his maiden title.
I think, sorry, carried in, but I'm just going to say, I think quite important, as I said at the start, that Muller opens with 2 or 3 solid service games.
15-love.
As he'll know that Ruusuvuori's on a great run of form. He's won all of his matches since the first round, or his first round, where he got by, but in straight sets after winning in 3 in his first match of the tournament.
30-love.
Yeah, Ruusuvuori pretty much the form man on the entire Challenger Tour. 18 wins and just 3 defeats since early August. A couple of titles already in the bag.
One thing that Muller can be telling himself at the start of this match in terms of the mental battle is that, you know, he's pretty battle hardened from this week. He's had a few really tough matches against good players that he's found a way to fight to. Whereas Ruusuvuori has been rolling through his matches, so if he turns it into a battle, maybe he'll feel like he's the readier player mentally to deal with it.
Net for service.
think from watching Muller, if a player can deal with that kind of mid-court low slice well, then it goes a long way towards neutralizing what he can do, because he loves to use that ball to pull his opponent forward and then mess up their rhythm a bit.
(40-30).
A couple of come-ons already from Muller. He's obviously identified that he wants to start with the right mentality. It's good to see.
Game Muller.
Very nice from the Frenchman. A lot of power coming off his racket.
1 game all.
Both holding to 30 with just a couple of little edgy moments in their first service game, but they'll both be happy to have got off the mark with a hold.
Very nice length
15 love
on the Ruusuvuori forehand there. Right onto the back edge of the baseline, drawing the error from Muller.
(15-all).
Slightly quieter than it was for the doubles final. A lot of the Murray-nators might have gone in search of Jamie's autograph perhaps. Still a decent sized crowd in the Scotstoun Leisure Centre. For the men's final, it's warming up nicely, particularly with shots like that from Muller.
15-30.
That's well played, and as you mentioned, they've not played each other before first meeting, so the early stages to some extent will, even though they'll have watched each other and scouted each other a little, they'll be starting to feel the kind of patterns that can work for them. Where on the court perhaps they don't feel as comfortable, or that their opponent is able to cause them more trouble from.
(40-30).
Pretty solid from both players so far. Point for Ruusuvuori for 2-1.
Game Ruusuvuori.
You would think both players reasonably satisfied with their respective starts so far?
Definitely, yes. I think we saw just a small amount of edginess, I wouldn't say obvious nerves. Just Ruusuvuori's first service game, he was a little tentative a couple of times. Muller was taken to 30 in his first service game. But you can see for Ruusuvuori there, again at 30-all, you know, he got the free point with a big first serve, which I think is one difference between them that maybe tilts the balance in his favour. He's probably going to be able to earn a few more cheap points like that, which can really be priceless when you get into the pressure situations. I certainly don't feel that Muller is the sort of character who's going to be kind of panicking out there or mentally getting jumpy when it does get close. So, as he's proved with his results in the close matches so far in the tournament.
Well, it's been quite a week for the Frenchman. Seeded 16 before a ball was hit. Best week of his career so far, but he's not done yet.
Love 15.
Both of these players are guaranteed a career high ranking no matter the outcome of this match. So both certainly on the up.
Ruusuvuori would want that forehand again.
15 all.
There was an opening for him.
Yeah, Muller did just enough in terms of the speed on his volley to mean that Ruusuvuori didn't quite have time to set up and really measure that forehand. Like you said, he'd probably feel like he should have made him play at least.
(30-15).
Compared to Ruusuvuori with the, as we were talking about, the free points, it's more likely for Muller that he'll be using his serve to set up the second shot, as he did there. Maybe not as many aces or unreturnables.
(14-15).
Well, one or two errors coming from the Ruusuvuori racket. Primarily, it seems to me, because he's not afraid to go not just for the lines, but he's almost going for the back of the line.
Yeah, he's certainly looking to be on the front foot, stay near the baseline, play offensively. And that can be why he's quite a difficult character to contain when he gets ahead of you, combined with being able to take care of his own service games well. It's very stressful to play somebody when you're already behind who's, you know, going for it, trying to accumulate another break.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's just a noise coming out of the speaker. We're going to wait until we get that turned off. Thank you for your patience.
Now a noise coming out of the speaker. I hope that's not us. Alexander Muller just wanting the speaker turned off.
Well, he seems happy now, and you're still talking, so, or we're still talking, so hopefully, as you say, it's not to do with us.
Game. Muller. 2 games all.
Momentary interruption to his concentration, not fatal.
And as you said, there's a few errors coming from Ruusuvuori's racket, but for someone like him, he's looking to play on his own terms and impose himself. So as long as he's not coughing up breaks of serve, he'll be quite happy to speculate, to accumulate, miss a few shots, but keep the pressure on and be ready for that kind of love 15 or 15-30 situation when he gets it.
(15 love).
Fantastic from Ruusuvuori. Lovely switch up in direction.
Yeah, that's great front foot tennis again.
(30 love). (40 love). Game, Ruusuvuori.
Very nice hold from Ruusuvuori. The best hold of the match so
Ruusuvuori
far.
leads by 3 games
Total
to 2.
control of that game right from the start. And some nice stuff so far.
Yeah, good promising start to the match. Both players have not had a real battle in any of their service games yet, but both showing that when they get into the point, they're both playing well, and they can impose what they want to do on their opponent. Particularly Ruusuvuori, who it looks like it's very difficult to kind of push him off the baseline after he serves. Muller at one point there on second serve, pretty good sort of strong back and return to the middle, but Ruusuvuori just took the pace and redirected it into the other corner and then took control of the point. So I think for Muller the key is just to keep focused, keep believing. The more times he makes that play, the harder it'll be, especially as the pressure mounts in terms of the scoreline, for Ruusuvuori to keep on playing so accurately with such an offensive strategy. It feels to me like Ruusuvuori is the kind of player who you kind of need to, unless they're having an off day, you need to get them into a situation with scoreboard pressure and ask them that question. Once they get away from you and they can relax, then they'll be very hard to contain.
Interestingly, I think Ruusuvuori now is unhappy with the speaker, which is just away to our left. The umpire's saying they should play. The player's clearly unhappy with something just over Ruusuvuori's right shoulder. Now the umpire's asking for a couple of checks to be done. We're just seeing what. I'm going to try and cut the sound altogether from that speaker. A little hold up here, just while the umpire makes sure both players are happy. It's Ruusuvuori that was complaining about something coming from the speaker down there. Well, let's see if they've managed to rectify the problem. Ruusuvuori still looking annoyingly at the speaker. At the other end, Muller just bouncing the ball.
Ready to go now, I think.
We can't hear what they're hearing, so it's a little bit of a mystery. That is absolutely fantastic from Emil Ruusuvuori. That's point of the match so far.
Love 15.
That's really, really impressive. And perhaps Muller will need to start using his slice a little bit more, as I've seen him do previously in the tournament, to just break up the rhythm a little bit.
Another high quality point ended by the net cord, sending the ball spinning away to Ruusuvuori's annoyance.
And he did use his slice backhand there. It was a good one down the line, stayed low, but Ruusuvuori dealt with it pretty well. So just Muller will need to find a kind of safe pattern where he can feel comfortable.
(15:30).
So at the moment you can just sense the kind of feeling that he's playing pretty well, he's hitting the ball well, but there's not really anything that he's done so far that has kind of hurt his opponent, who just seems to be able to take the pace, stay on the baseline, and just slightly out-hit him from the back.
Yeah, I think Ruusuvuori's gone up a little notch in his level this game. He's gone for too much there, though. He does like to pepper the lines.
And in terms of the situation in the game, that was a little bit wasteful. 15-30, just starting to build a little bit of pressure. That was a poor miss.
Oh, it's been called out. That was close. Very nice power again from Ruusuvuori, again drawing the error
30-40
from his opponent.
And as I said, it's just slightly concerning from Muller's point of view. He's hit probably 6 or 7 good quality ground strokes in that point, but didn't really manage to earn himself anything a little bit weaker from the Finn's racket. And in the end, it was Muller himself who made the error.
Great point.
Juice.
Very well saved by the Frenchman.
That was a timely first serve. Gave him the chance that time to attack with the short ball.
Well, the speaker to our left seems to be giving Ruusuvuori less of a problem, so one less thing to worry about.
Not up. Advantage, Ruusuvuori.
Well, Muller's not too happy with that. He thought he got there in time.
I thought he got to that, yeah. I think he just hooked his frame under the ball. I wasn't watching. I was watching on the monitor rather than live, where sometimes it's easier.
Yeah, difficult
to get
for
a
us
feel
to see
for it
from where we are. Yeah,
and it was right under the umpire's nose.
Players are usually pretty honest, and he looked at the umpire straight away and
Yeah.
said, "Are you sure?"
Thankfully, well, not thankfully, but I think he knew he'd lost the point anyway, so it wasn't too controversial. In fact, you don't always know 100% for sure, but you've got a pretty good idea as a player whether you got it or not.
Second break point.
Yeah.
Game, Ruusuvuori.
Beautifully converted by Ruusuvuori. There's something extra coming off the Ruusuvuori racket at the moment. He's just upped his game a little bit.
Games to 2.
Yeah, he's showing a very good level of tennis here. He knows how he's trying to play, and you know, if you're an attacking player, then there's not that much room for doubt in your game, or kind of you don't have to adapt to your opponent that much. Often you just play your game and let them deal with it, which can be quite a liberating feeling. Now if he can get a hold here, then he's kind of got that lead that we talked about. It would be hard for Muller to peg back. There's a good return though. I think that's his best shot, Muller, is his backhand. I've been really impressed with that this week. Really strikes it cleanly. And especially on return, can take the ball early with that shot, possibly more effectively than his forehand.
Oh, wow. What a pass that is from Alexander Muller.
Love 30.
Actually, yeah, Ruusuvuori dealt with quite an awkward ball well there, I thought. And Muller, some amazing hand skills, really, to create that much speed on the full stretch. Oh.
Well, all of a sudden,
Love 14.
break back points.
Yes, really good defensive skills from Muller. Using that chip return again to get the ball in play on the serve, and then just making sure he covered the baseline well. Neutralized. As I said, I think this is quite a key game now, because having got that break, you wouldn't say that he's running away with the set until he manages to hold himself. So if Muller can find a way to convert one of these chances, and we're back a very even set again.
Lovely ground strokes once again from Ruusuvuori. He's just playing his game.
30-40.
It doesn't matter what the score is
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go overboard, but I think this is actually quite an important moment in the match, especially from Muller's point of view. I think he has to hang on to the coattails here for as long as he can and keep these sets as close as possible.
Net for service.
2 break points saved. One more for Ruusuvuori still to negotiate. And he has done. Very, very solid from the Finn.
Yeah, that was well done, because of course when you're break point down, you're looking to win the point quickly if possible, but certainly he played a couple of good shots at the start that Muller dealt with, and he didn't try to overplay. He just stayed calm, stayed patient, hit another 2 or 3 good quality shots, and Muller couldn't quite control it on the forehand there.
Fantastic from Ruusuvuori. Really good first serve. Wasn't the worst return I've ever seen, but it was given the treatment.
Game Ruusuvuori.
What a hold that is from Love 40. Did the Finn panic? Absolutely not. Played his game, and all of a sudden, well, when Muller next stands up, he's serving to stay in the set at 2-5.
Yes, and we'll see now how both players react in this situation. As we mentioned before, we'd kind of expect Ruusuvuori to just look to keep the pressure on, keep being offensive, keep making it hard for his opponent to settle. Whereas Muller probably is obviously still in this set, but not favourite to win it now. Looking ahead to the rest of the match, I think he just needs to find some service patterns where he can feel kind of comfortable and get some cheap points, not feel like he's always battling on his serve, because he's done okay on return. You know, he's put balls in play, he's earned some break point chances there. He's had Ruusuvuori at 30 all in a couple of other games, so as long as he can take care of his own serve for the rest of this match, he's still right in there with a good chance.
15 love.
If there's an extra zip about some of these serves, it's because the young Frenchman's serving with new balls, 2-5, serving to stay in the set.
Don't see him miss that slice backhand too often. It's very secure, good feel with that shot usually.
Yeah, up until now, Muller will feel he's not done a tremendous amount wrong, and yet 2-5.
Yeah, it's only one break. He's competed pretty well on return for the most part.
Very nice adjustment there to get himself in exactly the right position for that drive volley.
Yeah, it was an excellent shot. It was just dropping on him a little bit, and he kept watching the ball. Just produced just the right amount of spin. There again, good work from Muller with his drive backhand. Very good timing, rhythm on that side. Clean ball striker.
Lovely racket head speed from Ruusuvuori again. Jamming the spin and the direction, wrong footing his opponent. Plenty to admire about both these players actually so far. Some nice stuff here at the Scotstoun Leisure Centre. Especially there once again from Ruusuvuori.
Juice.
Now then, first of all, you wouldn't want to hand your opponent a set, and then important as well to try and avoid your opponent serving first in the second.
Net for service.
Yeah, it's something you would certainly prefer in almost every case is to be the one who's serving first.
Oh, Ruusuvuori kept himself in the point pretty well there. That's loose from Muller.
Advantage Ruusuvuori.
Yeah, he showed some good defensive skills himself there, Ruusuvuori, and he doesn't really back up off the baseline that much, even when he's not in control of the point. He's more looking to just stay up and get balls back in play.
Set point. Very well played from the Frenchman.
Yeah, and that time he was in extreme defence, Ruusuvuori, and he really he was really deep in the court, rightly so.
There's actually not enough space here for how deep he wanted to defend there.
Yeah,
Ruusuvuori literally ran out of space.
I don't think some players playing here would have enough space for their return position. Like Rafa, for example. Some of his second serve returns or first serve returns as well, the US Open, you could barely see him at the back of the court.
For anyone with local knowledge, Ruusuvuori would near enough have been in Knightswood if he'd gone any further back to defend there. Nice mentality from Muller though. Fended off the set point. And that was a point for 3-5.
Game Muller.
Very solid. Very solid.
Well done.
leads by 5 games
Again,
to 3.
staying calm, no panic. Little come on there to himself, just to keep himself mentally in the right space, also to show his opponent he's ready to go here.
Ruusuvuori then serving for the first set. Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of extra beef on that. That would have been 138 miles an hour had that been in. Now, Muller will be annoyed about that. You do not want to gift any points
15 love.
when your opponent's serving for the first set.
No, and I think that Ruusuvuori is clearly superior when they're kind of trading forehands cross court, which is why Muller tried to change direction there.
30 love.
And I feel like Muller's quite comfortable when he's going with his double-handed backhand cross court to Ruusuvuori's backhand, but maybe just not quite got as much heat on his forehand side as the Finn does.
Well, that was ambitious coming in there. Ruusuvuori left himself
15.
with a very difficult to execute volley. Too difficult in the end.
I think he identified fairly well that he put Muller under a bit of pressure, but that's just characteristic of Muller this week, is that he's very good at digging himself out of those situations, or at least neutralising his opponent's shot to give them one more tough shot from below the net.
$14-15.
And again,
Very
Muller
close.
quizzically looks at the umpire. He thought that might have caught the back of the line.
Now, when I watched Muller playing Nicola Kuhn, the Spanish player, he used his slice low to Kuhn's forehand a lot, and Kuhn didn't deal with it that well. I think Ruusuvuori looks like he's quite comfortable with his forehand off a slice down low there. He's almost attacking off that shot, so maybe Muller could use the cross-court slice a little more when he wants to change the rhythm.
First set. Ruusuvuori.
To see what the Finn does when he gets down low to his backhand.
Muller's just batted the ball away in frustration there. That was his loosest game probably so far, and in the end his errors gifted Emil Ruusuvuori the first set. 38 minutes, 6-3 to the fast improving Finn. A bit of carbohydrate for him, the banana and the rehydration, and he's halfway to job well done. He'll be very satisfied with his performance so far. So let's take a look at some of these stats, Alan. What are you seeing?
Well, the most glaring difference is in the second serve points won, which is just a reflection of the fact that Ruusuvuori is staying pretty offensive, being quite aggressive once the rallies start. I think overall he's definitely shaded the majority of the kind of baseline points, and that's the challenge for Muller now. As you can see, they're both actually doing quite well on first serve return. To win 35-36% of your first serve return points is very respectable. But I'll be interested to see if Muller does make any changes tactically now in the start of the second set to try and counter the fact that he's playing an opponent who's quite aggressive, takes the ball early,
second set,
plays with a good tempo, and probably if he tries to go toe-to-toe with him, he won't come out on top overall. So will he start to change rhythm a bit more, or make any tactical tweaks?
Wow, what a crunch Ruusuvuori gave that perfectly decent first serve from Muller.
And there was a little tactical change. First time he served and volleyed, and Ruusuvuori just jumped on top of that and smashed it cross court. So that's a little worrying. And again, and I think, I mean, what I said at the start about Ruusuvuori from his scores in his match has probably been a good front runner, is being borne out here because he started really focused in this set. But he's also started aggressively, and he knows that he can pile so much pressure on here.
40.
We said it's good to be able to serve first in a set, but on a rare occasion it can work against you because you know you're put straight back into a pressure situation when you're already a set down. That's well played. But if he doesn't get out of this game, then
15-14.
He's going to be put under all sorts of pressure to find a way back into the match.
Well, Ruusuvuori's come flying out of the traps in his second set. Still has a couple of break points.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Ruusuvuori.
Terrific opening to this second set. Pretty much everything coming right out of the middle of the Ruusuvuori racket.
Yeah, and it's great to see a player who can kind of manage their momentum so well and really identify when they're on top and say to their opponent, not only am I going to keep my level, but I'm going to make it even harder for you now. That's a horrible feeling for the player who's behind. You know, he, as we said before, he won't feel like he's playing a terrible match or anything like that, but he's just being asked so many tough questions continually on his service games, and it's really hard to hold it together when that's happening.
Big mental test then for the Frenchman.
15-love.
Who might be feeling a little bit demoralised right now when he sees shots like that flying past him, because he's not done a tremendous amount wrong, but Ruusuvuori is red hot.
Well done. And I'm not sure exactly what I would be saying to Muller right now if I was kind of able to, if I was his coach and you were able to come on court and give advice, except to keep doing what he's doing mentally, which is clearly staying in the moment and competing and just trusting that he's going to get some chances if he keeps focused. The worst thing that he could do is to panic or get demoralized, and especially when he's returning Ruusuvuori's serve, as long as the Finn's making first serves, he's not really going to be able to tactically do that much different or change something. He just has to hang in and neutralize as best he can.
That is a beautifully controlled tennis point from Emil Ruusuvuori.
Yeah, it's really impressive. He's
40-15.
He's playing aggressive tennis and he's looking to impose himself all the time, but you don't feel like he's redlining or playing beyond his capabilities. He's just playing very good level.
Okay, Ruusuvuori.
Well, I mean, it's textbook. The way he started the second set is absolutely textbook.
Ruusuvuori leads by 2 games to love.
This could really get ugly now for Muller, because he'll feel like it's out of his hands. This is what happened in the previous match as well for Ruusuvuori. He got ahead of Rodionov and he just rolled him over. So big game now for the Frenchman.
That was 136 mile an hour ace for a 2-love lead, already a set up. Ruusuvuori, he had a big smile on his face afterwards. Big moment seized for the Frenchman to stay in this match.
And he just kept his foot on the gas, and he again, he's just looking to get more and more. He's not satisfied to, you know, sit on what he's got. There's a lot of pressure being applied. Ooh.
Well,
15-all.
in his mind it was a killer stop volley.
Yeah, that was a great little sneak approach. Again, surprised that he missed the volley, but still just coming forward all the time.
Goodness me, this is high level stuff from Ruusuvuori. This is top 100 stuff, no doubt.
That's really, I think you're right, yeah. I mean, I think that's really difficult to deal with. Muller, for all the world, hit decent serve, then a couple of good shots behind it, trying to build the point, and Ruusuvuori turned it around with 2 shots and just said, no, sorry, I'm going to slam the door on you here. He's got to find a way to get through this game, Muller.
Wow. Well, talk about being in the zone. Right, since he stood up for the start of this second set, Ruusuvuori's barely missed the ball. Look at that.
Yeah, and this is where you could really do with having a huge weapon in your serve. And Muller, unfortunately for him, doesn't have a huge serve. He just felt the pressure again there.
Well, that's a double break. That's 3-love. He's already a set up. And right now, Emil Ruusuvuori is running away with this. And you can see why he is the coming man, or one of the coming men on the circuit right now. You can see why they're talking about him. You can see why they're predicting a bright future. 20 years old, coming to the boil at just about the right time.
Yeah, you can indeed. And you, the thing about him is that he's got weapons, so you know, a lot of the time young players come on the scene and they burst through, and if they've got something just a little bit extra in terms of the kind of weaponry and the firepower on the court, then that makes a huge difference to their potential of how far they can go, because probably to some extent he's playing a lot of matches at the moment still where people don't know his game that well, and you know, it's really hard to see on this performance where his weaknesses are at the moment. The better he does, the more that people will start to analyse him and find from their point of view hopefully some weaknesses that they can exploit. But when he's playing in this way so offensively and, you know, on the front foot all the time, it doesn't really matter that much if you know what he's going to do, because trying to stop it is incredibly difficult.
140 miles an hour just. That was that last serve from Ruusuvuori.
50-love.
Well, he's painting the lines again. I mean, if he could have run up and placed that ball himself, he wouldn't have done anything.
And to be fair, talking about painting the lines, it was 2 feet from the baseline and a foot from the sideline, so he had a tiny bit of margin for error, but more than accurate enough. Wow.
Goodness me.
And there you see, for many players, when Muller defended or tried to neutralise down the line there, Ruusuvuori would have, the player would have taken a step back and played off the back foot, but actually he just half volleyed it off the baseline, and there was no time for Muller to buy himself time. and it's been the case all the time. Like, he's not really interested in giving up real estate unless he really has to. I wonder if Muller will just try and be aggressive on this point and turn things around with a big shot.
He tried.
Solid return.
Yeah. And it did
40-15.
bring up something very unusual for the second set, an error from the Ruusuvuori racket.
Game Ruusuvuori.
Well, this has been a fabulous demonstration of tennis so far. You could say the whole match, but certainly the second set, absolutely flawless from the Finn.
Yeah, that was a nice change up on the serve there after quite a few big ones. As you said, getting up to 140 on the gun, then he took it down with the slice out wide, and Muller wasn't on top of it. Hadn't seen that serve for a while, if at all, in the match. Although I do think the gun is a little bit fast on this court. There were a few 138s and 137s earlier in the week that I wasn't quite sure that I was buying. Gee whiz. This is brilliant to see, and you kind of feel almost like the Glasgow crowd here are probably at some point in the next 4 or 5 years going to be able to say, well, I remember watching him when he was just on the way up. You know, you definitely feel like there's a future, as you said, top 100 and well beyond that player in the making here.
Fabulous once again from Ruusuvuori. We saw some shots earlier of his coach, Federico Ricci, the Italian, actually laughing because from a coach's point of view, he is carrying out the game plan to a T. There he is. Find fault in this performance, Mr. Ricci. I dare you.
15-30.
He's having one of these summers, one of these years that could just propel him, well, goodness knows where.
I mean, I just love the intent with which he moves up to his forehand. His backhand as well to some extent, but it's just so dangerous the way that, you know, after he returned solid deep, the ball came cross score. He didn't wait for the ball. He cuts it off, hits hard but not risky, and he's just in control of the point again. And it's so hard for Muller to feel like he's got any kind of say in what's happening out there at the moment.
Game Ruusuvuori.
Well, it's a sad looking Frenchman at the moment. Alexander Muller's double fault
5 games to love.
means that in a couple of minutes and in double quick time in this second set, the incredibly impressive Emil Ruusuvuori will be serving for the championship at 5-love.
Yeah, incredibly impressive is right. I mean, you know, usually if you see a scoreline of 6-3, 6-love, you'd say you would see like the opponent perhaps getting a little bit demoralized, the dropping off, bad body language, not knowing what to do. But to be fair to Muller, like he was there to play in this set. He just hasn't been able to play. You know, he'd probably feel like he's not had control of anything that's happened. Not quite in the match, but certainly in this set. It's just been an absolute tidal wave coming at him from the other side of the net.
Well, that's one happy coach right there, because his protege, Emil Ruusuvuori, is about to serve for the Murray Trophy.
love.
Of course it's an ace. Of course it is.
Love.
Well, this is getting silly now. It is top top-notch tennis.
This is big T, I'm sure.
40 love.
Goodness me. Ace, ace, ace.
And
brings up
to finish it, what?
Triple match point.
Wry smile from Muller.
Even his opponent
big
smiling.
wide again, perhaps. Yeah, wanted to go huge to finish. 139, that one.
What an exhibition this has been from Ruusuvuori. And he's just taken the edge off slightly.
40,
on the other hand, it's almost insulting to the opponent. He's not going to let him touch the ball in this final game. Aces and double faults only.
Championship point number 2. Well played, Alexandra Muller. He will make Ruusuvuori fight every inch of the way. 2 championship points saved. Only problem is,
I mean,
number 3's
that's
coming
almost
right now.
one thing that you could say might be a little weakness. If you can make him come forward on your terms and then make him hit tough volleys. He's not dealt with a couple too well so far, but that's clutching at some pretty short straws.
Championship point number 3. Well. Seconds ago, he was about to lift the trophy.
Yeah, just shaking his arm out there. Suddenly just a little tight. This could be one to tell the grandkids about if Muller can turn this around.
Advantage
Well. Triple championship point down to break point.
Yep, and triple break up as well. I mean, Ruusuvuori will know that unless something ridiculous happens, he's still going to win the match, but he'll be a little bit irritated if he can't close it out here, especially after those 3 aces to go 40 love. It'll just feel a little untidy to him, like he didn't quite finish it off in the style that he was looking for. I don't think it would spoil his day too much, though, to be fair.
You just sense he's hit reset momentarily there. Off the frame from the back of the court.
Advantage, Muller.
Second break point for the Frenchman. We've played 59 minutes of this Murray Trophy final. Can Ruusuvuori get the job done inside the hour? Well, this is good stuff from Muller. Terrific fighting display towards what we presume is the back end of this match.
Yep, there's another kind of, if I'm staying in hypercritical mode, or in terms of Ruusuvuori, I think his second serve isn't quite as good a level as his first. Well done.
Game Muller.
huge roar from the crowds because they've seen the underdog save 3 championship points to break back and get himself on the scoreboard in this second set after exactly an hour.
Leads by 5 games to 1.
Yeah, I don't think Ruusuvuori has like a really good kick second serve. It's more of a slice, which is a bit easier to return. It doesn't get as high and jump away from you as much.
15 love.
So that's my second really sort of harsh bit of nitpicking based on his performance today. Because he's definitely, the plus column definitely outweighs the minus.
I think the Ruusuvuori coach, Federico Ricci, was about to give his charge 10 out of 10. I think he's just knocked a point off there.
Yeah,
he just lost focus with the 3 championship points. Ace, 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 and he was rehearsing his acceptance speech, wasn't he? And you can't do that at this level of sport, or any level of sport, really.
Yeah, and for Muller, I think he, even in his own mind, he was probably giving himself a 0.01% chance of winning the match when he was 40 love down there. Now he's probably upped it to about 5%, maybe a little less, but you know, at least you see some sort of path back. If he can just find a way to get through this.
Points.
Oh, he's corrected the call, the umpire. Has he?
Yes, he said replay the point. I'm not entirely sure why.
I'm not sure he overruled or if he called a let.
Ladies and gentlemen, the line umpire called it out, corrected himself. We replay the point.
Corrected call. Yeah, so for Muller, you know, it's a fairly forlorn hope, but if he can hold here, get Ruusuvuori serving again, and he gets a little tight again, you know, easier said than done, obviously.
Up come 2 more championship points for Emil Ruusuvuori.
And while we're being kind of a little critical of the players and talking about what they can do better, I think for Muller that's the key to really progressing now is his serve.
Game, set, match, Ruusuvuori.
We have our champion in Glasgow. The inaugural Murray Trophy winner is an incredibly impressive Finn called Emil Ruusuvuori. He has had a terrific year so far, and he's now the 5th player to win 3 or more challenger titles this year. He's in fine company because beside Berankis, Andihar, Bublik and Martin, now add the name Emil Ruusuvuori, 3rd challenger title this year. He is the winner of the Murray Trophy. And that's how to win a tennis match.
That was extremely impressive, not just in terms of the ability that he has, the level that he's playing at, but also, you know, in a final to go out and play with that kind of freedom and that sort of intent, and also I think to understand how to just, you know, be a front runner and when you get ahead of someone, make it incredibly hard for them to get back into the match. It's really enjoyable to watch, and from his opponent's point of view, it's been a very good tournament for him. I've enjoyed watching him play. I think he's got a lot of good things in his game. As I was saying there at the end, I think if he improved his serve to be a higher level serve, then he would probably have a great chance to go well inside the top 200 and beyond. So yeah, really good performance from Ruusuvuori. Not an amazing match because it was so one-sided, but really privileged to be here and watch the Finn playing in that kind of manner.
He's going to be serenaded by the skirl of the bagpipes. Do we have any sense of how high Ruusuvuori might go? It's difficult because this level below the main tour, we can't really judge where he's at in terms of the big boys. but there's so much to admire about his game.
Yeah, and I think if you're 20 years old and you've won 3 challengers, not quite back to back, but in quick succession, and not just that, but you're doing it with that kind of skill set, then that's a really good kind of potential that you're showing in terms of how far you can go. I would say that if he keeps developing his game and also developing physically, which I think sure he can still do, then he's for sure got the potential to go at least into the top 50.
And many thanks to our piper Matthew Gibson-Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the singles presentation for the Murray Trophy here in Glasgow at the Scotstoun Leisure Centre. The Murray Trophy is being staged by the LTA in partnership with Tennis Scotland, Glasgow Life and Glasgow City Council. This tournament has been named in tribute to the Murray family's contribution to the game, with Jamie working behind the scenes in the planning of the event. I would like to welcome the presentation party to the court. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Lord Provost of Glasgow, Councillor Eva Bollender.
Well, as Rona McLeod continues with the MC duties, we say thank you very much to Jamie Murray's coach, Alan MacDonald.
Please welcome David Rawlinson, the Deputy President of the LTA.
And we'll shortly be hearing from both the players, the runner-up, Alexander Muller.
Please welcome Rick Gardner, the President of Tennis Scotland.
And of course, our new champion, the Murray Trophy champion, Emil Ruusuvuori.
And the former doubles world number 1. He has 7 Grand Slam titles and is a Davis Cup winner, Jamie Murray.
And a huge roar for Jamie Murray. A nice touch bringing him back out to help with the trophy presentation. He's helped organise a terrific event here in the West End of Glasgow this past week. Scotstoun Leisure Centre hosting the Murray Trophy superbly well, and we've had a really good standard of tennis in this men's final as well.
Jamie will be presenting both the trophies. So first, he's had an outstanding week here in Glasgow. Our singles runner-up is Alexander Muller.
Lovely applause there for Alexander Muller.
And please welcome the winner of the Murray Trophy 2019, Emil Ruusuvuori.
And here comes our champion, the first Murray Trophy winner, 20-year-old Emil Ruusuvuori of Finland. Jamie Murray can barely lift the trophy, it's so big and so heavy, and we have a worthy champion from Finland. And I'll be very surprised if that's the last trophy he lifts in his career.
Well, before we speak to our winner, let's have a word with our runner-up, Alexander. Alexander, you showed so much spirit. You have fought so hard this week. How have you found it?
First of all, I want to congratulate Emil for this amazing week again, for your amazing summer, and I mean, you played so good today, so congrats to you.
This is your first season on the Challenger Tour. This has been your first final. Are you happy with this excellent progress?
Yes, I'm very happy about my first final. It was a great week in a great city with you, all of you who came to support me this week, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We enjoyed watching you play and we hope to see you back again. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for our runner-up. Now, he has entertained us all week. He has not dropped a set. A big welcome to Emil. He's reminding me that he is human. He has dropped a set in the very first match. He obviously recovered quite well after that, though. I think everybody here would agree this is a very special talent that we've been able to watch this week. This is your third title on the Challenger Tour. Are you happy with this progress that you're making?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, first of all, congrats, Alexander. I mean, great week. Showed some really impressive tennis skills, and I'm sure if you continue like this, there's going to be many more results coming. So. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way I played here. I mean, the first match was tough after coming from Davis Cup, but got through that one and improved match by match here. So, and then everybody who came to watch this week, I mean, it was great to have you guys here from Monday on. I mean, they were supporting every player, and it's just amazing. So, big thanks.
You certainly seem very much on form, beating TM in the Davis Cup, the world number 5, which isn't too shoddy. So, what next for you? The commentators are saying that you're a name that we will certainly be seeing on the really big stages in the future. What are your ambitions?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to play some ITP qualies also. Still a few challengers left this year, but just keep improving every day and just focus on the everyday basics, and we'll see how far we can go.
And a final question, just about your experience here at the Murray Trophy in Glasgow. How's it been for you?
Oh, it's been really amazing. I mean, I was here also last year, and I remember how well things are organized, and I mean, the sponsors, the LTA, who made this tournament possible, I mean, amazing job, and we'll see about next year. I mean, we'll see if I will be back here, but thank you.
We certainly hope you will. A big round of applause for our winner and our runner-up. Thank you so much.
A worthy winner and a star of the future, it would appear.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this brings the presentation almost to an end with the presentation of the Highland Cows. A huge thanks to all of you, our spectators this week. You have created an absolutely amazing atmosphere for our players. Thanks also to everybody who has been watching the live stream at home on the BBC and on the LTA website. Please sit, enjoy the celebrations and photographs, but all that remains from me is to say, have a safe journey home. And a huge well done to our winners here at the Murray Trophy. Thank you.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up from Scotstoun Leisure Centre in the heart of Glasgow's West End, and boy do we have a worthy winner, the champion, the Murray Trophy winner. After a superb demonstration, Finland's Emil Ruusuvuori, 20 years old and tipped for great things in the future. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage right throughout the week from the Murray Trophy, and for now, it's goodbye.